Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor and I'm smoking a turkey. I can't see anybody in a chat yet, so let's see if and I'm drinking my coffee, by the way. Hey Mike B, we've got W Shaban and Mr. Bizman, Ben Hill, Crypto Tarzan, the Ella, they're going fast now. Alex Berger, Trevor Rogue. I need to take my glasses off because I can see better up close. XRP Carpe Diem, Dirk Holt, Soft Faced, that's an interesting name. Crypto Hutch, Tappenden, XRP Noel, hi from Ireland. I wish I was in Ireland, but I'm smoking a turkey. Can y'all see that smoke piping out of there? I put my turkey on about 30 or 40 minutes ago. Hey everybody, I'm the Digital Asset. Thank you, Patrick Habits, Aaron Shannon, Alton Sylvester, Stevie Ripple, Undone Man. Anyway, I just wanted to do, hey Anthony Luz, Frank Shewalter, Grandiose, Matt's Fat Stacks, I like it. Just got home from work, getting ready for bed, smoking then fried turkey, yum. You know, for years, actually the official Digital Asset Investors honking neighbor fries turkeys every year, and he has sworn to me that fried turkey is the best. Hey Neil, Wales is nicer than Ireland. I don't want to get that fight started this morning. When I went to Ireland when I was younger, they told us that if you went to Northern Ireland, that's where they don't really like the English or the British. I don't know which is the right way to say it, but that was back in the 90s when there were still problems. I think they get along now. I'm sure there will be some people that correct me there. But anyway, I'm having my coffee and I just got this turkey on about 30 or so minutes ago, and I'm just making sure I got the right amount of smoke. Now, for those of you that are wondering, I use I think I've said it on my channel, I use a master built electric smoker, maybe because I'm lazy, but the master built electric, all you have to do is plug the thing in and then run with it. It is so awesome, and I've never wanted to do anything else. Good day, DAI. That's David the Amazer. Lots to be thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I told my wife thinks I'm such a nerd. I told my wife I was coming out here to do a live stream in front of my smoker drinking coffee, and she just rolled her eyes. But oh well. Look, that's Frank get the official retired. What was that again? Say it again. I think it was Frank, right? Yeah, I don't think as many people are awake this time of morning, but that's okay. Everyone, happy Warden, Frank Shewalter. Frank, you're not the guy that I talked to a while back that was a warden at the prison where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption, are you? It's a different guy, I think. Yes, okay, yeah. You've been emailing with me for, shoot, since I started this channel. You've been around, and your son, what is, I'm drawing a blank on his nickname that they call him, but his nickname is, you're gonna remind me in a second, I'm trying to think of it. It's a funny nickname. Trick Daddy, so a shout out to Trick Daddy, I see it. I remember that making me laugh back when you told me that. You told me to give a shout out to Trick Daddy, and he was in college. So Trick Daddy, if you're listening, happy Thanksgiving. And one day I'm gonna have a beer with y'all, and I want y'all to tell me where in the world Trick Daddy came from. I don't know if I need to know. My name is Big Daddy. He became Trick Daddy. That's awesome. So he's from the rap generation, so he went with Trick Daddy. Okay, I understand now. I have a friend who goes by his last name, and they call his father Big, his last name, and then they call his son Little, his last name. Trick Daddy is the big time. That's right. Yeah, Trick Daddy was a famous rapper. That's right. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. Watch every day. Yeah, you know, I decided that now that I've figured out the technology, I had Brad Combs help me set up my doing the live streams every once in a while, and so since that time, I decided that I would live stream maybe once a week or something. having a beer. So in Australia, you guys are up partying right now, huh? Much love from the Aaron Chain, and thanks, man. LKB said, how do you do us quick introduction to your smoking machine? Well, I just said the smoking. This is a master built electric smoker, and they're so easy. What you do is, and I'll go over, as long as we're here, I may as well tell you how I prepare my turkey. I put a picture of it on Twitter when I had just gotten done. What I do is I use that what's the guy's, Tony Satcherell or whatever. It's the Creole butter. It's like a spicy. It's kind of like you're injecting it with spicy butter. And for those of you that have never smoked a turkey, you're too late for this part of the advice. But one thing that I learned early in the first time that I ever smoked a turkey is that when you buy a turkey frozen at the grocery store, you better put it in the refrigerator or let it sit out and let it thaw out. And if you put it in the fridge, it takes a good 2 or 3 days. If you don't do that, when it comes turkey day, it's going to still be frozen. Yeah. Is it Tony Sactories? Yeah. Tony Satchery. I think that's how you say it. Well, anyway, I inject my turkey with that Creole butter. And then after I do that, I pour some vegetable oil. I put it in a pan and I pour some vegetable oil over the top of it. And then I put salt and pepper on it. Now, one thing that I have not done with this turkey that I thought about, that I was reminded of while I'm sitting here doing this stream, is that normally when you put it in the smoker, you need to put a piece of tin foil over the top of it. Are you guys there? Okay, yeah. Best live stream ever. Thank you. I appreciate that. From XRP Rocks. We know who XRP Rocks is because he is the guy I met him like literally within 30 minutes of my first stream in Vegas, and he drew the stick man. If any of you saw that stream, the stick man that we put in front of the camera, because that was before I had ever shown my face. So anyway, you've got to put a piece of tin foil over the top of your turkey, because the top of that turkey, if you've got it in there for say 6 hours, it can burn. And so, I'm sitting here looking at mine. Now, I was going to show you guys, I was going to show you the guys the turkey. I've got one of these smokers that you can see the window down there. And you can also see my little stand I've got propped up here. You can see a reflection of it. I've got one of these little step ladder stands that I bought one of these little tripods for my camera. And I've got one of these little step ladders that I put the tripod on top of. I was trying to get the right angle. When I was a kid, my parents had one of those Ronco rotisserie ovens from the infomercial. I bet a lot of you had that George Foreman grill, didn't you? When my wife and I first got married, here's a funny story. I didn't know nothing about cooking. And my wife went out of town one week, and to this day she makes fun of me because I told her I was gonna cook, and it was awful because it was deer meat too. You have to really season deer meat because it'll have that gamey taste if you don't. But this was when I knew nothing about it. I literally took two like deer steaks, I think, or something like that, and put it in a George Foreman grill and didn't put anything on it at all. And to this day, they make fun of me about how gross, because I was telling her I dipped it in ketchup, but it was still so nasty. And so that was when I was learning how to cook. And then didn't teach myself, my wife's parents, and I've told this story too. My wife's parents sent me to one of these cooking schools at a barbecue place up in Atlanta, and where I spent a whole day learning how to smoke things. Falco Daz, nice setup DI. When the turkey, I dropped that comment, sorry, accident. But they sent me to this cooking school up in Atlanta. Spent a whole day, and they smoked they had like 15 or 20 smokers, as I recall, set up in one room or outside. And while this was going on, it was they would show us how to prepare something, and then they'd go put it on the smoker, and then they'd pull something else out. So they did everything. And at the end of the day, we got to eat everything. Did a bird? No. This here that you're looking at right here, I think that's just dirt dust that's collected over time. No, if there was a huge bird poop on here, then I would show it to you and make sure you were aware of it, because this is my life. I've told you the story. I've got this bird who's a real jerk, who gets on the mirror of my car and he's still doing it even now in November. Gets on the mirror of my car and gets in a fight with himself, and he pecks at my mirror, and then he craps all over the side of the car and on the mirror. Anything he can do to try to make that what he thinks is that other bird mad, he does. Cool Like Cheesecake Factory in Atlanta. Knowing you're an Auburn man, I'd like to request the official. Your title just phased out on my phone, and I'm trying not to touch the phone. If you want that title, say it again. I'll give it to you right now since it's Thanksgiving. Bitcoin BRID. XRP is straight up security for instant settlement on if the network isn't using XRP on the cool Texas XRP. I'm gonna just let you guys talk a little bit, and I'll answer any question that you have or anything that you want to talk about, including smoking turkey. Morning, sir. Texas XRP. Hey, DAI. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving from the UK. There's a lot of cool people from the UK. The official amicable ambassador of LSU. Ooh, I just can't. Now let me tell you what. I love LSU from this standpoint. Oh, there's Singapore. Hello. Frank Sherwalter, sorry to be DAI, show the turkey. You do that, and everybody is going to want to. I'm going to bed, buddy. The official roulette dealers of the digital asset. Shout out. We are cool. That's why. Okay. But anyway, somebody brought up LSU, so let's talk about LSU. LSU is Auburn's nemesis for me. When I was in school, Auburn was really good, but they're on probation. That was 90, was that 90? My first or second year, 1993. I think Auburn was on probation. They went 11-0 and could not go to the national championship because they had been busted cheating. So, but anyway, LSU, ever since I've been watching Auburn, that is the team that I just always get nervous from, even more so than Alabama. If we have to go play at LSU, it's almost impossible. You can't win there, especially at night. You got all those people drinking and throwing liquor bottles and everything else. It's just crazy. Thank you, Jason Go2. I appreciate that. Shout out to Bonjour. I think that's what you're saying. David Perales. DAI, what's your thoughts on the end of year price? Trevor Roke. My thoughts on the end of year price is that anything can happen. And I've said a lot on my channel as far as action in the digital asset market. The most common time of year that XRP Carpe Diem, I appreciate that. The most common, I've seen more craziness bull runs during Thanksgiving and Christmas than I have in any time for ever since I got into this in 2013. For whatever reason, that seems to be the period of time where a lot of the runs happen, and I don't know why. I guess it's just people talking to their families or whatever. Crypto Gym Rat, what up? What you smoking? I'm smoking turkey. We were been talking about. I even talked about how I prepared it. There will be many discussions about XRP around. Yeah, a lot of there. When you're talking to people about XRP around the dinner table, most of them, the toughest part of these digital assets and talking to your family is that they have such a hard time getting their mind around what all this is. And what I always like to tell them is that and I tell people this all the time, it really hit me what this was all about back in 2013. And at the time, I think I was sending Bitcoin, but it was a Sunday night, and I had one friend that was doing this with me. And actually, the friend that was doing this with me, hey, DI, Cape Town, South Africa. I've been there, Cape Town, South Africa. When I remember going there, and back then in the 90s, they said that Cape Town, or maybe it was the early 2000s, they said Cape Town was like really dangerous at night if you go to the wrong places. But really and truly, I've traveled a lot, and everywhere's dangerous if you go to the wrong place in the wrong city. Carl, Eric B. Mills, I appreciate that. Stand firm and remain XRP strong. You don't have any worries here, man. All these down markets and like what you've seen this week and all this kind of thing. Man, if I could tell you how many times that I have been on that stomach churning roller coaster, it's like now you never get immune to that, but now I'm very good at saying, no, wait a minute, let's step back here, let's reevaluate everything that how we got here, what it is we're invested in. I've met these people now, and so now I'm a lot calmer when we have those days than I used to be, I think. Rollins Chef, I'm in Florida. Um, yeah, you see right here, see right there, that's the little window here. The reason I'm not actually showing you the turkey, you can kind of see the turkey right there, but when you use a smoker, one of the things that I've always thought was kind of weird with these smokers is that it's kind of pointless to put the window in. That might be, this window, in my opinion, is only for selling these things, because on the display floor, this window right here, it might, that might make it look pretty and everything, but after you've smoked for 1 or 2 or 3 times, that window is all of a sudden fogged up and it's almost impossible to clean. And you really, it's like, why clean it? So that's what happens. And so really that's just for show. Good afternoon. Cornwall, UK. Now, Cornwall, UK, is that near the Cotswolds? I've been to the Cotswolds. I think I can smell that turkey. Do y'all see this smoke? I am, do you have Brad garlic sauce? One of the funniest things in the XRP community is all these people that come up with all these names that are plays on Brad Garlinghouse's name. That always makes me laugh. There's one that's Bread Garlinghouse. There's one that's Grad Barlinghouse. It's so funny. I laugh when I see those. I've never done it. I've never done it. I've never created a fake Twitter account. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are one person and they also create fake Twitter accounts. I have never done that. And the reason I've never, but if I was going to do it, it would be one of those Grad Barlinghouse type things where it's a takeoff on his name. But I would never do it because that's bad karma. I don't want to try to do anything shady where I'm in any way doing anything that I think where karma could come back and bite me. Shout out to Bonjour Dave Paralis. We've been streaming for 17 minutes. We've got 187 people here. That's pretty good for Thanksgiving. Now, I was going to yesterday. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story since you're here. Yesterday, I told on my channel, if you heard is your Christmas card done yet? Mr. Wendell, it's interesting that you bring that up. I'm about to tell you a hilarious story, and I may even show you something that you will really laugh about here. When I told yesterday on my channel, I was talking about how every year I do a Christmas card. Sometimes I just go out and find some random family on the internet, and then I'll put that in a Christmas card and I'll send it out to about 40 people around town, like friends of mine, but I won't say anything about it. I might put a funny name on it or whatever. And then throughout the holiday season, you know that these people are looking at that and they're talking to each other about who are these people that sent us this card. And so it's become a whole funny thing that I do. Well, last year I hit the Grand Slam of Grand Slams. Now, those of you that are listening to this channel, you might get a good laugh out of this one. This is funny. So every year my wife makes me go and makes me dress up and gets my sons to dress up, and we have to go have professional photographs taken of us usually around October. Well, in this part of the country, in October, it can be really hot, and usually is. And you may or may not know this about the digital asset investor, but I am a sweater, big time. I sweat easily. If I step out of the shower and then go put dress clothes on, I'm sweating for 30 minutes to an hour before I stop sweating. And so last year, and then after we do these professional photographs, she sends those out as the Christmas card. And so last year when she did this, I got dressed up, did not put an undershirt on. So it's hot as it can be on this particular day. So we get to the place to take these pictures. Yeah, the official sweaty DAI. So we get to this place to take these pictures. And when we do, by the time I get out of the car and we're at the place where she's ready to take the pictures, I'm pouring with sweat. My shirt's wet. It's ridiculous. Okay. And so what happens is I finally I said, look, just take pictures of my sons and we'll send that out as a Christmas card because I'm a disaster. I'm pouring with sweat like I was in Singapore. I literally had a napkin in my pocket in Singapore, just rubbing my forehead every 10 seconds. So, um, so when we're taking these pictures, I said, take a picture of my sons and we'll just use that as our Christmas card. And then I thought of the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing that the digital asset investor has ever thought of. I said, wait a minute, scratch that. Here's what we're going to do. And I took my dress shirt off. I've got dress pants on, took my dress shirt, threw it over my shoulder, and and I wasn't. What made it even funnier is I'm a 45-year-old man. I'm not like in the best of shape, and so it made it even funnier. So I told her to start snapping photos. She began snapping photos of, I've got my shirt off. It's my wife, my two sons, and they're all in the picture with their dress clothes on, and I've got my shirt off with a dress shirt thrown over my shoulders, and then when we got the pictures back, looked at my wife and I said, listen, this has got to be my Christmas card this year. And so last year I sent out my Christmas card and it was of me with no shirt on and my two sons in their Sunday best and my wife in her Sunday best. And God bless my wife, because this is the type thing that she's had to put up with for years. But that is a true story. And the reason I thought to tell you that story is because I'm drinking out of a coffee mug right now. My wife, as a gift to me, she took that picture and went to like Shutterfly or something and put that picture on the coffee mug that I'm drinking out of right now, and it has the digital asset investor without his shirt on and my wife and my sons. And I can't show you this right now because my wife and my sons, I don't show their pictures, but I promise you I will blur their faces out and kind of show you at some point this picture, and it's really funny. But I had more friends contact me last year when I did that, and they said that is the funniest thing they've ever seen in their life. And so what is the lesson there? The lesson there is that to you kids out there, is don't be afraid to make fun of yourself in life, because you only live once, and so make yourself laugh. I sure do laugh at myself often. All right, well, there's my story. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about before I go and do my thing? Looking forward to your post-moon streams. That'll be fun. What do you think about Walton Chain? I don't know anything about Walton Chain. Can I be the official fisherman of the Digital Asset Investor channel? Check out our YouTube. Yeah, you can. Matson's Outdoors. I love watching fishing videos, and I love fishing. I grew up, when I was growing up, fishing is one of the only things I did. Happy Thanksgiving, Ferdy, who is one of the mods in here. Ferdy's one of the people that keeps all the creeps off of here. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, Michelle XRP, there's an active community member. Happy Thanksgiving, Michelle. What is the temp you got the turkey set on? Good question. 225, and it normally takes between 4 and 6 hours as usual. Hey, Mr. B, happy Thanksgiving, DAF. You too, Mr. B. You know, now I always joke around with Mr. B. Yesterday I told him that his family will be having stuffing this year. My family will be eating dressing because we're Southern. And Mr. B, I make fun of him for being a Yankee, but and then I also make fun of him for saying, I think he says, I don't know if he says pop or soda. I think it was soda. I make fun of Mr. B for saying soda because in this part of the country, all we say is Coke. You're getting a Coke. Hey, Smog, man, I appreciate that. The official 6'10", ooh, Englishman living in Northern, whoa, say that again to me. Soda. Hey, you want a soda? Pop. Now, my dad, Matt LaRoche in the house. My dad dates a lady, and she's from Michigan. And Matt Bormanasur is here there in Michigan. My dad's girlfriend is from Michigan. How do you order an orange soda? Hey, you want an orange soda? My dad's girlfriend's from Michigan, and she says soda. And my son came home one day, and he said, Dad, she was asking me if I wanted a soda. A soda? What is a soda? Just touch the screen DAI and scroll, and the chat will pop back up. Oh, I was trying not to touch this screen. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm scared I'm going to screw something up here. Can I be the official London god of the Digital Asset Investor channel? Yes, Stevie Ripple. Hey, Stevie Ripple, let me tell you an interesting story. And I told Mr. B this the other day. You know, Swell is in London next year. And who knows if we'll get to go or not. But if I do get to go, or whether or not I get to go, when I'm going to take my family to London one day, and I've been to London 3 or 4 times. When I go back to London, my favorite thing to do, I've done it 2 or 3 times, and that is take the Jack the Ripper tour, because you go through all the spots around London where all of those murders took place, and it's fascinating. Even to this day, it's fascinating. People are fascinated by Jack the Ripper, but I go on that tour when I go there, and I look forward to taking my sons there. It's really a fascinating thing. XRP rocks. Yes, meetup. Meetup where? I'm the official neighbor son, right? Let's see here. Nuve Rich. Happy Thanksgiving from the dungeon is good too. DAI. Getting back. These are going, I've got my phone sideways, and these are going, no, I'm not, I am not retired. See you in London, local high school in state semis, and Buckeyes versus, hey, the Buckeyes versus Michigan. No, you know, it seems like every year Auburn, when we do these bowl games, we're always like, we have like 2 or 3 losses, and we always seem to play like Wisconsin. Stevie Ripple, thanks, man. I'm gonna buy you a drink. Cool, man. I love that. The beer over there in Europe's 10 times better than the beer over here. Getting back to the official terminology, digital asset investor. I'm the first official mod of the DAI channel. Please, yes, you are the first official mod. I can't even remember who else's mods. Happy Bank. What does that say? Bank wants to be the official funk band. Oh yeah. Say it one more time and I'll get you. Just got back from the week. Hey, DA, Crypto D, there's the Shark Man. Meetup has to be in Vegas. I love Vegas. XRP rocks. Yes. Funk band of the DAI channel. That's Nouveau Rich and the Underground Funk Lab. There you go, man. You're the official funk band. Smells lovely. Vegas. XRP beats. You're never going to have a problem getting me to Vegas, but if we do a meetup in Vegas, I have one rule. I like for it to be during football season, and I'll tell you why. Football season, one of the things I love more than anything when I go to Vegas, when you're stuck betting on tables, Iron Bowl prediction, I think that can go either way, but I don't think Auburn's got that great of an offense this year. That Bo Nix is kind of off and on. He'll throw a great pass, and then he'll throw behind the receiver 1,000 times. So you just don't know what you're going to get there. But in Vegas, it has to be during football season, because those going in there and doing the sports betting, to me, and have some bar food, have a few beers, it extends the amount of time where I lose money. That way, I can spend 3 hours and make 2 or 3 bets on football games or whatever. And I can spend 2 or 3 hours enjoying myself and having a good time. Whereas if I'm out on the tables, you can lose that same $100 inside of 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Dude, happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate it, Gerard. Important to don't waste your time. Mike Smith, cringe. NFL Draft Las Vegas 2020. DAI, you say yams or sweet potato? We say sweet potatoes here. Could Ripple adopt hash graph technology to spread of XRP? I don't know the answer to that. Now, I don't know what exactly you're getting at there. A master-built smoker, I believe. Yes, it is a master-built smoker. Master-built makes a really good smoker. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want me to stop this thing? I'm just kind of running my mouth. Sweet taters. Yeah, you know, there's another thing that, like here in the South, my dad, when I was growing up, the name Sarah is said by someone truly Southern. They say Sarah, or my dad does not call shrimp shrimp. He calls shrimp shrimp. like with shrimp with an S. I can hear you. I can hear you all day long. Thanks, man. RDB. But I just took a sip of my coffee from my cup that's got me with my shirt off. Not fun to look at. We call shrimp prawns. You must be a Cajun. XRP Yoda, shout out. Was up, may the force be with you, DAI. Yes, that looks like it's going to be a great turkey. It's hot there. Is it hot there? No, actually, it's pretty cool out here. I've got a pullover on. In fact, I asked my wife to give me another one of these for Christmas. This is from Orvis, and it's a really comfortable like pullover. For those of you that don't know, about 99.9% of the about 99.9% of the winter, I'm wearing a fleece or some kind of pullover because I love them. They're just comfortable. I love the material. That's kind of how I roll. Sunrise at 7, lucky. Orvis, the fly fish. Yeah, you can go on there. They got some really some clothes that are really nice. 99.9% of people don't know about XRP, exactly the crypto D. What time should we eat? XRP to the moon. XRP beats, do you golf, DAA? If you do, we should arrange an XRP community event at Top Golf. You know what? I've always heard those Top Golf places are so cool. Now, as far as golf goes, I told my wife actually the other day, because I have a lot of friends that are really good golfers, probably some of the best golfers in the Southeast, which if it's in the Southeast, it means they're some of the best in the country and the world. But these guys have taken, I tried to go and play golf. You know, growing up, I have worked a lot. I mean, I work my butt off. To this day, I work a lot. I'm a very, my dad taught me that work is not work, that work is just a part of life, and that work is if you're doing something you enjoy, to go full throttle, and it's almost like a hobby with me no matter what I'm doing. But when XRP moons, I told my wife, I said, we're going to start golfing. Maybe we're going to be those old people that play golf all the time, but that's okay. What I love about golf, and I'm terrible at golf, I can't even keep it in the fairway. But what I love about golf is I love just the, what's the word? Is it the serenity of being on a golf course? And the views and how nice it is out there. What I hate about golf is I don't like the coffee with DAI is one of my favorite routines. Thank you, Cliff. But what I don't like about golf, I don't like the snobbery around like a country club type atmosphere. That is not who I am, never has been. I don't like that. I can't stand that. In fact, yeah, you said, Matt LaRoche said Caddyshack DAI. Well, DAI is much more like the Rodney Dangerfield character, and will always be much more like the Rodney Dangerfield character in Caddyshack than all of the country clubbers. That's my personality. That's the one part of the golf thing that I can't stand, is that I've got friends that you get on a golf course and they go from being the funniest, nicest people you've ever met to being jerks. That's the one thing about golf I don't like. What's your favorite side for Thanksgiving? I like dressing. You know, not stuffing, dressing, right? Here in the South, we call it dressing. I like dressing. You know what my mom used to make when I was growing up, and my wife refuses to make it? She made what's called oyster dressing. And I really liked that, but my wife thinks that's disgusting and refuses to make it. Now, I also like corn casserole. I like squash casserole. Oh, everybody listening to me, if you were having dinner at my house, or any really people in the South, these folks know how to cook down this way. I can tell you that. No question about that. Do smoke your dad one day. Do a smoke with your dad. Actually, I was talking last night. I had dinner with the official language snob of the Digital Asset Investor channel, and he's going to come on and do a live stream, and he's going and tell me, y'all give me some feedback. The official language snob of the Digital Asset Investor channel is the guy that was with me when we first started investing in 2013 in digital assets. If you all think that you have a reason to be depressed or feel nervous about the market for the last week, if you really want to put things in perspective, he wants to come on and tell you guys and have me and him tell you the story of what went down in 2013 and what that bull run looked like and what happened when it collapsed and the money that was lost from fraudsters that were involved. You want to hear a good one? That is a good one. There's Mr. B. What do y'all call a large sandwich? Hoagie. Ooh, I'm getting a low battery here, folks. I'm on my old phone. That's a piece of crap. A hoagie or what? I didn't catch that last part. Hey, if the phone dies, the stream's over, folks. That's how I'm going to play this. It's probably the golf etiquette you don't like. Yeah, etiquette's just a horrible thing, Michelle. Hoagie or a Sanga? It's a sub, don't be crazy. Haha, get a charger. Well, my wife's probably gonna get mad if I don't get off this thing soon, but I don't really have anything going on except drinking my coffee anyway. Hey, I appreciate that, Scott. Legend, my wife would laugh at that. I'm going to tell her when I walk in the house, I'm going to say, hey, I just want to let you know that someone just told me I was a legend and just wanted to make sure you realize that. And she will probably slap me across the face. Crack a beer, settle on in for the long smoke, and filling the dishwasher. Actually, she's doing the dishwasher in there right now. I can hear it. RDB's laughing. Give LOL. Mr. B, if you're still there, did you hear me telling the story? Because I don't remember if I think I told you the story. I told the story about taking my shirt off in the picture, in the formal picture, and sending it out as a Christmas card. I'm gonna have to show that at some point, put it on Twitter or something. Have you ever tried? Can we touch on fair market value and what exchanges you think will be first to be? Yeah, Mr. B said I did. The fair market value thing, you know, I thought that was an intriguing site. I thought that was an interesting site and more or less a concept. But hey, here's what I think about that. It's fine for someone to create a .com called coin fair market value or whatever that thing was called. That's fine. But and I believe that at some point you're going to get some variety of that kind of site, and it's going to be deemed, quote, legit. I think that some kind of a site like that will come out from, you know, whether it comes from a feed from NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or something like that. Something that's going to happen like that. But right now, they just haven't done it yet. I think that they're going to do it, and I'm not saying that they're going to say, okay, the actual value is this, and we're going to just peg this to this price. I don't know that. I'm not going that far with it, but I am saying that you're going to have all sorts of what are considered legitimate companies, whether it's a Fidelity or coming from the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or somebody in traditional finance. They're going to come up with models so that their people, and whether it's S&P or Moody's or Fitch, they're going to come up with models because remember, and this is one of the things that's kind of crazy that you see on Twitter. There's a lot of people that get really upset when people make price predictions and all that. And I understand that. I get that. Okay, I understand why people get upset. But everyone needs to go ahead and prepare because turn on CNBC. Go watch Jim Cramer's show in the evening. This guy has made an entire living, paid for by whoever owns CNBC, of telling you what you ought to buy and in many cases giving projections on price targets and all of this. The entire financial industry is built on that. You're going to have the same thing in digital assets. They're going to come up with models and your price targets and price predictions. That's how these people make a living, is doing that. That's how Jim Cramer gets views, and that's how the world works. And everybody gets upset about that on Twitter, but you better get used to the idea because you're going to see a lot of that. That's just how the world works. I mean, that's what keeps people interested in things is the idea that whether, I don't care what it is, whether it's Facebook stock or whether it's whatever you own, Google stock, the idea that Google stock can go from X price to X price. And the idea that someone on CNBC or somewhere is talking about it and they're legitimizing your thoughts that maybe that's where it could go. That's what, I mean, we're remember I talked about animal spirits the other day? That's what keeps the animal spirits alive, folks. That's what this is all about. Now, anybody who is saying, you know, throwing out all kinds of numbers and prices who does not actually believe what they're saying, and I believe that those same animal spirits call those kind of people out as frauds, okay? So that's also how the world works. And so it's not the saying of what you think it could go to that's so bad. It's if you really don't believe it and you're just saying things to get people to listen to you. That's bullcrap. I agree. Anyway, there's my rant on that. Yes, Mr. B. What did you say, Mr. B? I'm learning. Yeah, it is danger, low battery. When you see this thing go out, I'm streaming for 40 minutes at this point. When you see this thing go out, that's what happened. You're sounding much better. Yeah, you know, I really went to. This is riveting. Thank you. I went to. I went through a tough, I mean, I had a really tough week with my health. I mean, I went from one thing to the next. And I don't know if I told you guys, I finally realized I was having these terrible headaches. And the reason I was having them was because of the fasting. And so Michelle says everyone at her table has XRP. I was having migraines because what I was doing is I was starting eating at 12. I was eating 12 to 8, but it's okay to do that, but your body has to get used to it. Something to do with your insulin levels and your blood sugar. And it really literally started giving me like terrible headaches where I had to go to sleep to make it, just hope that it would go away. Let's see here. Ooh, the low battery signal again. The best digital asset investor ever created. Nice seeing you. Thanks, man. Ferdy, I have not celebrated Thanksgiving years. I'm looking forward to one. Why haven't you celebrated? Trying earthing, stand firm, and remain XR. You were detoxing, also headaches. Yeah. Michelle, do they make a? So anybody that has an answer to this, this is my plan now because I lost 10 pounds like in a week doing that intermittent fasting. I'm not in the USA from Ferdy. I lost 10 pounds in a week, so it does work. So I'm going to phase myself into it. And everybody tell me if you know if this works. I was going to start eating at like 9:30 in the morning and not eat after 8. And I'm going to then, after about a week of that, I'm going to go to eating from 10 until 8 at night and work my way back up to 12. And I'm hoping that my blood sugar can get used to it that way. Is that how this works? Does it work that way? Will that weaning myself onto it, will that keep the headaches from happening? That's the main question. Drink plenty of water. See, I did do the water thing. I drank a lot of water. I was not dehydrated. And that's part of what frustrated me. Keep on drinking, just had low GI food. You need more energy for the day, not the sleep at night. So I would eat after 5 p.m. So are you saying that I eat breakfast and all? Because I thought that skipping breakfast was part of what made it work. Happy Thanksgiving, Ferdy, Carl, Eric. Reminder, folks, when this phone dies, the stream dies. Thomas Delar channel is good for the 16/8 fasting. I'll go check that out, the Crypto D. I appreciate that. Glycemic load. Yeah, I was having some kind of shock. You need to add sea salt or Himalayan salt to your water. That's what somebody said on a video. I find also I get a headache if I don't eat lunch. As soon as I start eating dinner, headache goes. You too, my friend Carl. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Sin City. Well, Sin City, you might have a good point. And he goes one over the 4th, alkaline water. See, the sea salt in your water is what I was told. One person said, happy Thanksgiving. Hope yours is great. Getting ready to start my fried turkey. Yeah. Lies. You've got it pretty not true. Breakfast is overrated. So we can't agree on anything in here. I always eat a large caffeine is good for headaches. Well, I've got that covered then. I get a headache when I don't have money to buy dips. Me too. Coffee in the morning is the most important meal. Craig Heaton, I think you finally just hit it. Coffee in the morning, that is, y'all notice that my smoker, we're still smoking pretty solid here. XRP over medium, intermittent fasting. Yeah, the intermittent fasting works. I just got to figure out at this point how to do it in a way that Celtic salt, amazing. I do intermediate and had headaches. I can agree. All can agree is what wood to smoke. All right, let me show you the wood I've got. I'm getting the, oh, okay, hold on one second. Here's the wood I'm using. Let me see if this shows up. This one right here. Hickory smoking chips. There you go. Now you know. Okay, let's see here. Let me make sure I don't knock this over. 6 hour window, hickory, there you go. Next Thanksgiving will be more awkward when I'm a millionaire. Ferdy, hickory, nice. Hey Ferdy, by the way, I know that you have sent me before, you sent me some questions that you wanted to do some kind of, like a write-up or something. And I think I've dropped the ball at least 2 or 3 or maybe 4 times. If you will send me, you had said the other day, I think, that you would send me some questions. If you wanted to, I have not answered any questions to be a jerk or anything. It's just that I get overwhelmed with things and I get overwhelmed with these direct messages and all this stuff. So, I certainly would do that if you sent those and just cuss me out next time if I drop the ball. I won't drop the ball this time though. We should go to the States and celebrate Thanksgiving. Nutrition stores. What temp are you using? 225. I smoke most things. Most things that I smoke are 225. There's only one exception. If you cook a when you cook a brisket, when you smoke a brisket takes forever. If you do 225, brisket can take you 10 or 11 hours of smoking. And so usually when I do a brisket, I do it the easier way. And I'll crank that thing up to 250 or so and cook it for half the time or 3/4 of the time. And I've found that a brisket, if you cook it, if you get the internal temperature right, then a brisket will be just as good whether you smoke it long or smoke it medium term at a higher temperature. Can we all yes, listen, let me say it again. I'm one of the biggest Dallas, the TV show fans that you've ever met, okay? South Fork, they still have South Fork where they filmed the exterior shots on Dallas, the TV show. That South Fork is still there. I think it's owned by investors, and I think you can they actually rent it out and do different things. But you write it down. Go ahead and write this down that I said it. When XRP moons and the whole thing goes down, all right? When this actually happens, the digital asset investor, I want to buy South Fork, and I don't just want to buy South Fork. I would like to have in the show they always had an annual Ewing barbecue, and that's where all the fights happened, and that's where J.R. Ewing was always mean to everybody and ended up getting in a fist fight or making somebody mad. I think that my ultimate celebration of XRP mooning would be to recreate a Ewing barbecue at South Fork after I have bought South Fork. That would be awesome. That would be the culmination of my life. That would be the climax right there, because all of my friends know that I'm the ultimate Dallas fan. In fact, I've said this on the channel, every year or two, I start to watch Dallas all the way through again. And I'm pretty much coming up on being due for doing that again. I think Dallas, the TV show, just captured an era that was really awesome. Hey, DA, any chance of putting together an XRP community meetup? Yeah, we're talking about doing a community meetup in the Southeast, like maybe near Atlanta or something like that, in the next whenever. I mean, I'm game for doing that any time. Don't forget to invite the Canadians. Yes, we love the Canadians. Still don't know who shot JR. Well, there's a lot of young people on here that don't even know what you're talking about, but let them go and find out. You should. I would encourage anyone to go and watch Dallas all the way through. Really awesome. Can you guys see the foot, the stool? You can see if you look where my finger is. You can see this is my little tripod that I got, and this is my. I set up this one of these little mini ladders to do this, so you can kind of see. Dream only. James, dream only. What does that mean? I can't look at JR and not picture him as I dream. Well, you know what? I'll tell you something interesting, and this tells you something about life. When Larry Hagman, who played JR in Dallas, when Larry Hagman was on I Dream of Jeannie, it was a comedy, and he played a silly, like a buffoon type character. But it wasn't until J.R. Ewing played the character on Dallas, where he was the biggest jerk and villain in the history of the world. It wasn't until then that he started getting like tons of fan mail from women. So that, I don't know if there's a lesson there or not, but they said that when he was a buffoon, yeah, I'm sure he got fan mail, but he didn't get the real fan mail until he played the complete jerk on TV. That's kind of crazy. My coffee, I am now drinking cold coffee. I've been hoping for a meetup in hot Atlanta, and you just confirmed it. Become reality. Now, my Thanksgiving, yes, we're going to do it. XRP Imperium, was that? What did you study for digital asset? What smoker are you using? I use the green egg. Green eggs are overrated, my friend. I use the master-built electric smoker, and my friends that have the green eggs, when I take my things that I've smoked over there, they have no idea. They have no idea that it was on an electric smoker. If they did know, they would kind of turn their nose up at me. You need to wear JR's hat at the bar. Hey, I promise you, I will not just wear J.R. Ewing's hat at the barbecue. He had, and there's a picture that I'll show you another day. He wore these, they're like, they're not sunglasses, I don't think. Shooting sunglasses that have the orange tint. If you look back at J.R. Ewing at the Ewing barbecue, he's wearing a hat in some of them with the feather across the front, and he's wearing glasses that look like shooting glasses, that orange tint, and then he's got like a Texas vest on. So trust me, I will recreate the entire J.R. Ewing outfit when this goes down. When XRP moons and we do that, oh yeah, I will look just like J.R. Ewing at that thing, because I'm telling you, that would be the culmination of everything from me. That would be, it would be so fun. Okay, and you know what else I'll do is when I leave and when I arrive, it will be by helicopter, because the Ewings they would land their helicopter in the pasture and then they would take off. So yeah, when that goes down, the whole thing is going down. And that helicopter is going to say XRP on the side of it too. Sue Ellen would be half in the bag already. Yeah. And my wife better not be drinking like Sue Ellen at the Ewing barbecue. And there was one of my favorite lines was when J.R. Ewing, he says to Sue Ellen, he says, "You're a drunk, you're an unfit mother," and he goes on this whole time. This poor woman he kicked her when she was down. It was the most awful. He was just an awful person, but that's part of what made the whole show so. I guess funny is the wrong word, but it's just classic. The ultimate villain. Don't your neighbors wonder who you're talking to outside? I was looking around and I don't see anybody yet, but there's probably people that hear me that are thinking that. A tramp, a drunk, and an unfit woman. Craig Heaton, I think you just got it. J.R. By the way, I need to start giving you guys some J.R. Ewing quotes, because there's some of the best quotes that you have ever heard out of this guy's mouth. He says, I think he said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And one of the quotes that he said that I loved was he said, let me see if I can get this right. Shoot, I'm going to draw a blank on it because I'm doing a live stream. That's how it works. But one of my favorite quotes, is, shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Some of the good ones were about Cliff Barnes because he was always putting Cliff Barnes down, who was his like rival. Feels like I'm hanging with friends. Good. The Von Clutch. Once you get that's it, Ferdy. You got it. Once you get rid of integrity, the rest is a piece of cake. That's one of my favorites. I mean, how awesome is that? The official stunt double for fight scene by the pool. Just joking. Yes, Vincent Stewart. Unfit mother. JSU Jackson State. Everyday 9. Don't you know DAI's neighbors have never seen his face, Wilson? Happy Turkey Day, DAI. Well, are you guys ready for me to go? Or RIP Larry Hagman, you got that right. This one, I'm taking a sip right now for Larry Hagman. There's a way, there's a will. Did you speak with any central bankers at Swell? I heard central banks. I did not speak with a central banker. I did speak with a guy who was a banker with one of the largest banks in the entire world. And I did, and you've heard some of the other guys talk about this. He did say in no uncertain terms that they move, and I think he was referring to the FX markets, that they move 300 billion pounds a day, okay? 300 billion pounds a day. And that they wanted to talk, and I think maybe were talking to, they were talking to Ripple about how to make that happen. And he specifically referred to their wanting to use XRP. So if you get nothing on your Thanksgiving and you haven't heard that yet, that's worthy. I'm not going to tell you the bank because the guy is a really nice guy, and he is a friend now, and so I can't say the bank, can't say who it was, anything like that. The Queen is not dead. In fact, those of you that aren't watching it, my wife and I are watching the Crown right now. The new season just came out on Netflix. We love The Crown. Great show. But if you do 3 things from a TV perspective in your life, the 3 things I would tell you gotta watch. 3. 1, you gotta watch The Sopranos. 2, you gotta watch Breaking Bad. And 3, you gotta watch Dallas. And I would add a 4 on there that I don't know if I've ever talked about. I've watched it 2 or 3 times, and I don't know how, because it's so long, and after a while it just becomes a thing that you just have to keep watching. Is Lost. If you've never watched the series Lost, and I think it's on Netflix, Lost, you know, if you're like me, when Lost first came out, I saw that it had some sci-fi, and I immediately was turned off to it and never watched it again. And then I went back once it was on Netflix a few years later and just started watching it. And I saw part of The Big Lebowski on TV the other day, man. Buck Rogers too. I remember Buck Rogers when I was a kid. Lunch break at work at the moment, but next year when I'm an XRP millionaire, I can sit in 5 Falcon Crest. Yeah, I never did watch Falcon Crest. Entourage. Yeah, I liked Entourage. I did watch that all the way through. I did not watch the Entourage movie. What's your beer of choice? Well, I get made fun of by my friends all the time because I have never really been that much of a beer man. I'm a Chardonnay man, but recently the Chardonnay kind of gets, as you get older, it feels kind of acidy on your stomach. So I've kind of gotten away from it. Now I kind of, when I fix a drink, I'll fix a vodka drink with as little sugar as possible. Epstein smoked himself. Trailer Park Boys was funny. I've seen some of those. Well, you know, I didn't want to stream for you guys and talk mostly about other things than digital assets, but I guess I just kind of let the conversation lead me. Never had Chardonnay. Chardonnay's, I had some Chardonnay last night. Hi from sunny Scotland. If I ever do get into golf, I gotta go do it in Scotland from what I hear. Pinot Grigio. I like Pinot Grigio. My wife's parents like Pinot Grigio. I see your Schwartz is bigger than mine, no pun intended. Did you see there's Dallas sequel coming up? I think I did see something like that. There is a light that will never go out. Yes, is it the maggot tea? I think you're referring to Morrissey and the Smiths. I believe that's what you're referring to. I grew up. My brother, I'll never forget it. My brother drove an old Volvo when I was in high school before I could drive. Yeah, of course, he says, "Oh yes, I know the Smiths and Morrissey songs." One of my favorite is the Morrissey song that I think is so true. Um, um, he says, what's the name of that song? It's we we hate it when our friends become successful. I have found that to be pretty true in life. Is that a lot of times the people that are your closest friends almost in a way resent it when you become successful. I think that Morrissey really does. I mean, the guy is a poet. He really does hit on a lot of things. He's a classic. For sure they do. Any chance we get a Santa Claus rally in XRP? I'm telling you, I'm going to get the official language snob of the Digital Asset Investor channel on here at some point to tell you this story. But he and I were literally right there in 2000. I believe that I always forget. I need to look back and just find, before I do the stream with him, where we're going to tell you the story of what happened on Thanksgiving. I believe it was 2013 or 14. It was one of those years. Before I do that, we have a story that we can tell you, because he was the guy I was talking to while I was smoking a turkey in the dark in my backyard. And it was the first time we'd ever experienced one of these bull runs. And if you think 2017 was crazy, it was just as crazy, if not crazier, back then. And ever since then, Thanksgiving and Christmas have been some of the times, for whatever reason. Yeah, Johnny Marr. Yeah, I remember Johnny Marr. For some reason, over the holidays, I guess it's family getting together. And that's why I would encourage any of you listening, hey, let's make it happen. Tell your friends, every video would tell your friends and family to do this or that. Tell your friends and family, get them to watch some of these videos and get them to see what's going on. Because if you tell them nothing else, tell them this, okay? Because this is what I've been talking about for over 2 years. If you tell them nothing else, tell them this. And this is this is great. Go tell everybody at Thanksgiving lunch today, say, listen, lay it out like this. Say, listen, when you go and you put your money with a financial advisor, and this is what I learned from being a financial advisor. When you go and sit down with a financial advisor, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you are, if you've just started working and you're 20, or if you are in your 50s and you're 10, 15 years from retirement. You're going to sit down with a financial advisor, and they are going to they're going to put together a plan for you. And this is how financial advisors are trained. They're going to put together a plan for you. And when they do, they're going to say, if you're young, they're going to say, okay, we need to weight your portfolio in assets that are higher risk, because you're young and you've got time. We can create a growth portfolio. So they'll weight you heavier in growth stocks and those types of things. If you're older and you're approaching retirement, there will be a shift in your allocation into more conservative things as you approach retirement, like bonds and these types of things. Well, there are about, I can't remember the number, but there's different asset classes. You have commodities, you have equities, you have bonds, you have real estate, you have 4 or 5 asset classes. And if you tell your friends and family at Thanksgiving lunch nothing but what I'm saying right now, tell them. Because and here it is. So that's what financial advisors do now. Well, guess what? Guess what you and I are a part of? What we're a part of is, this is the first time probably bonds were created. And you might hear a blower. Somebody just turned on their blower, by the way. Bonds were created in 1696, I believe, by the Bank of England. That's the last time that a new asset class came into play. Tell your friends and family, and my phone could go dead any second. Tell your friends and family that this is the first new asset class since 1694. And every financial, whether it's retail or institutional, across this world, during the next, from now into the next 5 years is going to be allocating anywhere from 0.5% to 5% of every portfolio in the entire world to digital assets. And you, if you own XRP, and show them to go to Coinbase and get it, and you own the greatest digital asset, the fastest, the cheapest, the one with the best team around it pushing the best and the largest use case for it, you own the greatest digital asset ever created that's going to be in that batch that all of these financial advisors are going to be putting their clients into. I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family everything that I just told you about this new asset class, because that's what they need to know on this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you all later.